Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. It's been a long time since we had, well, it's been like 2 weeks since we had the opportunity to get a double-digit streak. 3-1 ND, 1 Loke. I'm ready. I'm eager. I'm waiting. And I got tools here. I like the bones, don't get me wrong. And also don't take me out of context. However, 19 rate of fire, that's something we gotta work out here. So I'll tell you, Dice Shard is just an incredible get. Now, Little Chad, I don't know. I mean, we don't have a D6. So we're really, like, probably gonna be forced to take it, but I doubt it'll be useful. Sorry, when I said Little Chad, you guys ever get these, like, I don't want to call them, like, flashbacks, but, like, little memories from media that get stuck in your head? Most commonly, of course, is songs. Everybody's had a song stuck in their head. But for me, like, the summer vacation between 8th grade and 9th grade, all I did was sit on my couch and watch the movie channel. Play PlayStation 2. It was a great summer, don't get me wrong, by an 8th grader's standards. Now I would go insane. But that led to me watching the movie Slackers, starring Devon Sawa. Definitely the biggest actor in that movie now is Jason Schwartzman, you know, of Wes Anderson movie Acclaim. He played Cool Ethan, the nemesis of the movie. At the end of the movie, he's in like an IHOP playing a piano, and he's singing a little song that goes like, it's called Little Black Book, but you know, I love you, but I hate you, which brings to mind how much I love you. Anyway, that song in its entirety, for whatever reason, gets stuck in my head. Maybe once every 4 months in perpetuity, perhaps for the rest of my life. I said Little Chad, and then you hold the key, you hold the key to my little, it's not Little Black Book, it's Little Locked Room, that's right. My little locked, whoa, whoa. You can look it up if you want. It's, by the way, trash movie. Absolutely garbage movie. Redeemed, not at all, but if redeemed by Jason Schwartzman's unbelievable over-the-top performance. I feel bad for that man in hindsight. Like, I mean, he's been in a lot of great stuff, you know. Rushmore. I mean, I don't really like the Darjeeling Limited, but he was in the Darjeeling Limited. I'm trying to, wait, what's Jason? Yeah, I Heart Huckabees. He was in the HBO series Bored to Death. That was fun. He's been in a lot of stuff, you know. He seems like a cool dude. But to go from Rushmore, like definitely one of the best movies of the 1990s, and then like, you know, 4 years later, he's playing Cool Ethan in Slackers. Man, that's He did well to get himself out of that pit. That's all I'm gonna say. You might be, by the way, like, NL. Don't be a snob. Slackers is pretty good. Is it pretty good, or did it just come out when you were of an age to not be very critical about movies? I'm not saying you should always be overcritical, but Slackers, I mean, that's like your classic, like, under 10% Rotten Tomatoes movie right there. And you know, I get the obvious counter-argument about Rotten 10 Tomatoes there, but, like, if under 10% of the population that sees a movie enjoys it, I think you got a bad time coming. Honey, you got a big storm coming. Anyway, I'm not using bombs here, because we're definitely going to get a deal with the devil, unless our next boss is horrible. We need to use Golden Teleporter for maximum leverage. This is one of those items we've had a lot recently, and it is very, very helpful. Latchkey, sure, Latchkey is also pretty helpful. I appreciate the consumables, and what an odd boss fight. You know what? It's a great time to have Little Chad. There's no doubt about that. I'll play you a little bit. Oh, that was Sacrificial Egg working right there. My mistake. Maybe we should have waited on that one. I appreciate that they put these in here. They're like, hey man, you fought Monstro 7,500 times. give you something to do while you're fighting Monstro. While your brain subconsciously, without any input from the higher order executive functions, executes fight Monstro loop, while Monstro is alive, shoot, forehead. Occasionally there's a little switch statement in there. If shots approaching, dodge. It's not really a switch statement. You get the, I mean, it's thematically similar to a switch statement. We gave you a little something to do in the interim period. I respect and appreciate that. So we got a little bit of due diligence to do here first. Of course, I want to get Blood Bag. But even just getting the money is pretty good. But we got other stuff to do on this floor as well. So we definitely want this for damage. We definitely want Gimpy as well, which is going to be very helpful. Basically, specifically for those blood bank sort of situations. We definitely want this as well, and we have to go to our shop. Now we actually have a good reason to go to the shop beyond Golden Teleporter, because we got some capital. This might surprise you. I don't think I'm going to use a bomb to try to get money, because I think we need to use our bombs effectively to find secret rooms. There's one secret room. Second secret room, there's a few different plausible locations, and that's not frustrating, but a little touchy. Could it be here? Yes. This, could it be here? Yes. I think this is maybe a little bit more likely. But it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's superstition, but it's more just the closer it is to the final boss fight, I think that, or the boss fight on the floor, I think it's the more likely position for it, but I could be wrong. So we're just taking our time here. I don't really want to... I'll do it one more time. I'll like get back to full HP and then play the blood banks. Again, I don't think the blood banks are any more likely to pay out when you've played them more. So I don't think there's any reason to go back into the boss room. It's not like we could hit both of them at the same time, you know? And then when we press the spacebar, we're going to get the error room. So we have to be prepared for the fact that once we're done, we're done. This floor has been pretty good, actually. I mean, look at the amount of items we've gotten. Mind you, it was an XL floor, but still. Because we got a Spirit Heart, I'm willing to go 2 more. Pay it forward. Okay. And a lot of money. Evil Eye is fine. You know, in Isaac terms, obviously we did pretty well on that floor, but I'm still just modestly frustrated with the lack of damage upgrade, but I do appreciate Rotten Baby. Alright, let's move it on. I just think it's funny how things get stuck in your head like that. You know, your brain is a very easy double entendre. I would encourage you not to make it, but when you're young, your brain is very sticky. It's like when you drop, you know, you guys own pets, you drop a piece of food on the ground. Even if it touches the ground for a single quanta of time, the smallest possible unit of time, it's covered, just absolutely covered in dog or cat hair. That's what your brain is like when you're young. It's not, you know, when you're older, or, you know, I'm starting to get older at least, but it's not that your brain is less sticky. It's just that sometimes, you know, you forget things that probably when you were younger, you could have remembered. Like, to be honest with you, I think when I was 16, if you asked me what I had for lunch, I mean, part of it is that I ate borderline the same lunch or a similar lunch, like, literally every day. But if you asked me, like, what I had for lunch or what I had for dinner over the course of, like, the past 2 weeks, I bet I could come up with it in under 2 minutes and be correct every day. I'm not being sarcastic. Now, I'm like, could I do it? I might be able to, but I think it would probably take me close to 10 minutes. It's like last night, I had stew that I made. The night before that, we ordered in. I had a chicken sandwich with a side salad. The night before that was Sunday. And now I'm like, getting a little tricky, right? On Sunday, I believe Kate made gyudon. You know, it's like a beef on rice sort of Japanese dish. On Saturday, I made stew, but the stew was mostly for my lunches. After making the stew, Kate was like, you know what? I know you're making that stew, but how would you feel if we got some pizza? And I was like, you know what? I'd be okay with that. So we had some pizza. Now it gets really tough. Like on Friday, what did we do? What the heck did we... And today is Wednesday, just for the record. So I'm going back 5 days. I don't think this is, you know... This is at the cute level of memory efficacy. Where I think you're like, oh, you know... Don't remember things as good as you used to. But in like a couple of years, they're gonna... Well, not a couple of years, hopefully. But in like, you know, 4 decades, you're gonna look at this video and be like, that's where it started. Couldn't remember what he had for dinner on Friday. What did we... Trying to run it through my head right now. All the things we ate, running through my head. It's called tattoo. Remember all the words to that. Don't remember what I had for dinner on Friday. What did I do on Friday? Went to the gym, came back, recorded a video, played GeoGuessr with some Victa, recorded many more videos. It's gone, brother. I do not recall. It's not a scary thought, to be honest. I think that's pretty normal. But now I'm like, yeah, I think I've gotten myself all tensed up. It's like when you take an exam and you know, you can't get the first question right and you go, oh my god, I know none of this. And you look at the second question, you're like, I don't know what this question is. And you're like, oh my god, did I even go to class this semester? Then you look at the third question, you're like, oh, that one's easy. You get a little confidence and you go back. You look at the second question and you're like, I totally know this. And then you do well. I've told the story a few times, but that exact situation happened to me in my first year university calculus class. Now, I went to school in a slightly different era. I'm so dumb. I really thought we had fought the boss. I went to school in a slightly different era. Now, as I understand it now, most public schools in Ontario don't teach calculus in 12th grade. We had the option to take calculus in 12th grade, which I will say was overkill because they taught the exact same course my first year of university. We got a little bit more difficult with it, but mostly the same thing. However, it was really nice because when I rolled up to university calculus, I was like, oh, I already know most of this. Okay, hold on. Error room kind of sucked. Just take me down to the next floor. That's okay. But I took my calculus exam, and it was one of the first exams I ever took in undergrad. And I looked at the first question. I was a relatively confident math student. Like, I'm pretty sure I had an A going into that exam. And I looked at the first question and I went, this one doesn't really pop out to me right off the bat. I think I'm just gonna leave this question for later and move on. And I went to question 2. Same situation. Question 3, start to get that, the heart rate picks up a little. You're getting the sweats. You're flipping the pages. You're barely even reading the questions, you know? You're like, I don't know any of this. And I took like 5 minutes. And I want to say, by the way, I'm a very confident test taker. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but exams academically have saved me in a lot of situations where, like, perhaps an assignment didn't turn out that well. And there's actually, if we go back to the Java arc, there's a good example. I worked really hard on one of these Java assignments, but it never clicked for me. I spent a lot of time on it. I ended up getting, I don't know, like a 6.5 out of 10. Pretty bad. Not that it's like an easy course necessarily, but, it's a mark I was not happy with. And then on the exam, I think, like, when I looked at the questions on the exam, I was like, dude, why didn't you make your assignments like this? I know how to program. I was in Iceland for my friend's wedding during the lesson where you taught us how to use this archaic, like, JDBC library that links up with the NoSQL database that you've got on your back end. Anyway, you get the idea. And I crushed it. Exams, academically were my strong suit, so this was like a really strange situation for me. But I took like, I guess I panic placed a bomb there. I took like 2 minutes and I just like took a deep breath and just sort of thought to myself, I was like, hey, you know this stuff, you learn it in high school and you've learned it over the past 4 months. It's been reinforced. Nothing is going to be on the exam that you didn't learn in class, especially in a math class. You know, they've given you the tools that you need to execute on. And then I opened it back up, and I looked at question 1, and I went, you know what? I think I can do this. And then from that point onwards, the rest of the exam was pretty easy. So your mental state does affect your ability to perform in those situations for sure. There's no doubt about it. I gotta tell you, by the way, this run is so close to genuine greatness. It just needs a tier upgrade. But we're kind of... Oh, that's really helpful, actually. We're kind of in a little bit of a vulnerable position. Oh my god. Alright, streamer luck helped out a lot. Now that's not a tiers upgrade, but it's still extremely great. Obviously. So we've taken our damage from 4 to 9 in a single room, which now I'm not as concerned. But we were definitely in a I didn't even see that was a bad chest. We're definitely, you know, we were in a holding pattern for a floor or so. I started to see that we were slipping behind a little bit. That was a really timely injection of good stuff right there. I don't think we care at all about having a charge when we fight the boss. It's not useless, I just don't think it's worth that much. Like, usually we're saving our charges regardless, so... I will say, without being able to mentally map this floor out, this is probably a floor where I'm not really gonna use Golden Teleporter to my advantage. They're pretty much like the archetypical example of, like, juice is not worth the squeeze here. You know? We got, I don't really care about boss rush, although we could get out of it easily. We can't make it the boss rush is really the big problem. It's more so just like, you know, for the expected yield from a single error room, it's a lot of hassle. Plus, we don't have a key to go into the shop with. It's just like, it's not bad. It's just it's a thing, you know. And dude, Rotten Baby is gonna be so much better. This run has been so lucky for us. I think we're probably gonna get a deal with the devil just based on nothing at all. Okay, that's fine. Take me down to the next floor. I have had the opposite as well. I've had exams where I thought I crushed it and didn't do as well as I thought I did. Never like, well, I thought I crushed it, and then you get like you know, a 40. That's never happened, but like, I was like, dude, I had it lights out. Oh, well, there goes that deal with the devil chance. Okay, okay, please let me go. There's been situations where you're like, I'm pretty sure that I smoked that exam. Then you get it back and you're like, 75? I got no problem with a 75. That was, like, if you put in 75 effort and you got 75 confidence, 75 acceptable, right? But I was like, man, I had like 90 confidence. What gives? It happens. Anyway, the school anecdotes, like, apart from programming at least, I haven't been in school, college, high school, etc., for like, dude, it's actually, I'm coming up on like my 10-year college reunion. That's insane. No, I will not be going. That's a long trip, dude. I'm here to tell you, I do want to go to the item room there, but I need a key first. I'm here to tell you, here's my millennial adult perspective. Movies did not do a great job of... They've misrepresented things. There's this classic John Mulaney bit about how, you know, movies you watch as a kid really made you think that when you grew up, you were going to have to deal with quicksand on a regular basis. And, you know, I won't bite his bit. It's already bitten. And it's well known and great. However, high school reunions are kind of like another one. I feel like there's so many movies where the premise is like, is your high school reunion, and then you meet someone who's more successful than you, and that motivates you to kick yourself into gear or something like that. You know, or perhaps it motivates you to start working on an adult film with your roommate Seth Rogen. You know, yes, this is a real movie, of course. Now we have a key. I don't even know if my high school graduating class had a 10-year reunion. Now, my graduating class was like 80 kids. So like, it's not that many people. I would really like to not have to open this, but it is what it is. It was also in a very small town in Ontario, so you know, most people, when they graduated from that school, they went to college or university. They end up going to, you know, London, Ontario, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Victoria. You know, if you don't know where these cities are, it's just scattered across the country, basically. And then you're like, hey, do you want to spend like $1,500 to go back and have a couple of beers with people that you might not even really like that much? The answer to that question is like, mostly probably gonna be no, I think, for most people. College is a little bit different, but I don't know. I don't have like an ambition to you know, like relive my college days. If that's, it's not that they were bad, it's just that it's like behind me. And when I was in college, and by the way, if you've gone back to your alma mater for homecoming or whatever, this is not meant to be judgmental. But when I was in college, and I would see like 40, 50-year-old dudes getting tanked at homecoming, and to be fair, the school that I went to, at least for a while, for the time that I went there and like the 5 years surrounding it on either side, was kind of infamous for having an enormous homecoming that, by Canadian standards, also warranted like a huge police presence. And I would see dudes that were like old dudes getting absolutely blasted at homecoming. I was like, dude, that owns. I hope I'm like that when I'm 50. Not like every day, obviously, but like, you know, that I'm not afraid to still like party. Now that I'm 30, I'm like, are those guys okay? I'm like, what are those guys missing in their lives that, you know, they decided, you know, how I want to spend my weekend is being the old dude at a kegger full of people that are like less than half of my age, and I really can't relate to, except for the fact that we took math class in the same building. I don't know. I think I would. It's not a fit for me on a personality level right now. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. So this will be Deal with the Devil, which is Krampus. This run is like, it has all the pieces, it just needs to pop, you know? Great skill set, no job opening yet. So we're gonna ignore this. I'm gonna use the Hermit card because I'm lazy, and then we're gonna go to the error room. And actually, this is a Tears upgrade, it's very helpful. This is a nice Tears upgrade, actually. Luck down is bad, but we can absorb it. We got a great luck stat. Speed down, same situation. Question marks, don't care. 2 health upgrades is nuts. That's fantastic. And we'll take another infest. Okay. So we should be in a much better position now, but anyway. I know not everybody's gonna be in the same boat on that one. I also like, I don't know. I don't really care what the people from my high school are doing. I really, it might sound pro Facebook. I think I've been negative enough towards Facebook. You know that like I'm not a pro Facebook guy. But what I will say is that like I think Facebook's existence, at least for me, if not my generation, has really dampened the desire to go to, you know, 10-year reunions. I don't need to fly back to, you know, where I went to high school or university. I know what everybody's doing. And it's not, like, if I wanted to see, you know, my friends from college, I wouldn't say no. But, you know, it doesn't need to be because there's a football game that weekend. We could just do it, you know? We have the means now, to some extent at least. Now I'm like, oh, hey, you know, Miss Popular from 11th grade. Well, I wonder what she's up to. I don't need to know what she's up to now, you know? I see her on Facebook. She's doing the same thing everybody else is doing. She got like a job. She got married. She had a kid, you know? That's not meant to be negative at all. It's like, say, you know, who cares? It's the same thing. You got a kinship just because you happen to share the same kind of mean 10th grade geography teacher. I don't know. It's like it's a friendship by happenstance, I guess. Or not even friendship, just kinship. Those are my thoughts on the school reunions. So I'm here to tell you, maybe you're 1 year out of high school and you're like, can't wait for my 10-year reunion. By all means, dude, if someone throws one and you want to go, go. But if you're like, I don't want to go to my 10-year reunion, it is not weird. I don't even know if my school had one. That's what I'm trying to say. What I will say, though, some of you have already probably been this person, but don't be the person who graduates from high school and then they go off to university and then they come back to their old high school for a day after their first year of university. I get it. Like, I know why you would do it, but it's just a little... You've got better things to do with your time. I guess I don't understand it. What's the point? You go back and you say hi to some teachers and, you know, you're like, wow, isn't it weird that you're in the same place and I'm off doing cool things in college? I don't understand. Maybe I am guilty a lot of looking at things through perhaps the most cynical lens. And I'm working on it. But, you know, this is my opportunity to share my deepest, darkest assumptions about humanity. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of surprised at this run right now. Don't get me wrong, it's great. It should have we already found our second secret room, actually. It should have every available opportunity to win. But it's just lacking, like, one item. And it's really just the tiers upgrade. If we could just get a tiers upgrade, this whole thing is gonna snap into place, dude. We could also just get a staggering damage upgrade. I would also love to fly, I suppose, but I would also love... I mean, this is obvious, but this is really a run where Brimstone would be huge. Some kind of, like, long-range piercing shot that accentuates our damage, although our rate of fire would still be pretty bad. This is one of those... Every run, more or less, benefits from Brimstone, but, like, this one really benefits from it. I don't know if I want to play the regular Judgment. That's pretty good. That's pretty terrible. I'm waiting because I'm like, dude... Gimpy's gonna give me something. There's no way Gimpy doesn't give me something here. It's unconscionable. Really appreciate the hearts, don't get me wrong. I don't want to go too deep. Okay, Gimpy will not give me anything. The tears down is not the end of the world. We still got a very solid run. That doesn't help, though. That's trash. Alright. I think, you know, this is a situation where you really got to take heed of the advice that, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Don't just go fight the boss, you know? Get your HP up as high as you would like it to be. Yeah, why not? As high as you can get it to be, maybe. We are going to be teleporting out. We got plenty of charges here. We're going to get a deal with the devil unless we get hit, but we got enough charges to make it work either way. So I wouldn't sweat that. I'm just surprised at how slow this run is. Especially considering, I think on 4 of the 5 completed floors so far, we did go through our due diligence to get the error room. So close. Come on. There we go. Great stuff. Definitely Polaroid. It is a damage upgrade. I'm not mad. I'm not even really disappointed. It's just not the stat we really want the most. Okay, so there's our secret room. I will play this just a little bit more. Maybe 2 more times. This will be... Okay, 1 more after that. I don't really care about IV bag, and it'll still keep showing up no matter what. So again, what's the expression? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's important for us You know, have full HP. Don't just, you know, auto-run the run to its logical conclusion, because its logical conclusion might actually get you killed. And I just want to see, because financially we're in such a good spot right now, maybe we can afford to leverage it. You know, we are losing a little damage in the process, but not really that big of a deal. I don't care, like, if we use all our bombs, that's totally fine. I actually think chaos is a little too chaotic for us. I think we want to get the deals with the devil where they exist. I'll pay 7 cents for this in the interest of trying something a little weird here. And it didn't really work. I didn't mean to buy that, but it's not a huge problem. So I paid 7 cents for a 50% chance to get a spirit heart for free. Ah, but then it did come with another spirit heart. Did you forget about that? Oh, we didn't kill the enemy. Okay, so we've been stuck in our deal with the devil, which now actually might mean we don't get an error room. No? Okay, thank God. Come on. This an error room that gives me just a modest tears upgrade. Yeah, okay. That's exactly what we asked for. I'm happy with where we're at, trinket-wise. And now we kind of rush it down, to be honest. We don't worry about Golden Teleporter too much. This is the kind of run where you're like, man, I would honestly give up like 20% of my damage for a single Emperor card. We're gonna make it work. This almost certainly will be win number 10. Yeah, let's give it a try. And that's, ooh. That's worth, something. You know? We've been a little bit out of routine is maybe the best way to describe it, you know? You got a routine going in your life, you get sick, you get busy, you start to fall out of it, and then it takes you a while to get back into it. You know, the habits you built, you gotta make them a priority again. That's not really what happened to us in Isaac, but I guess it's like a metaphor. Help. Wow, we got him with some detritus. I don't feel right in Isaac, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Until we have a 10 streak. You know, I don't want to say minimum, but that's kind of what I mean. Oh my god, after all that. Like, this feels like my natural state, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. My natural state of ignoring pennies on the ground that are literally damage upgrades? Yes. No, but this is like, you know, it just feels right for me. Don't screw this up, because we really want a deal with the devil chance here, even if it's low. And it is low, but hey, you know, little modest damage upgrade. Just a single tears upgrade, by the way. Would help out a great deal. You might be saying, NL, this looks like a long floor here. I happily have to disagree. Peter, Bjorn, and John, 2007. I think if we get a bomb, which is, you know, we did throw some away fairly willy-nilly. But if we get a bomb, yeah, why not? One of these, in fact, the room we were just in now, I'm realizing, should be a secret room that maybe allows us to take a pseudo shortcut to the boss room. This is one of those situations, I'm really like, here's the thing. Golden Teleporter represents a lot of... It's not the previous room. We're going to have to take a long way. Golden Teleporter represents a lot of potential, okay? You son of a gun. How dare you? It represents a lot of potential. However, at some point, potential has to manifest into actual results. You know? Otherwise, you end up your Marlon Brando at the end of... Oh my god, I hit Q by accident. Darn you, sensitive mechanical keyboard! I was gonna use that to flawless Isaac. You end up being Marlon Brando from the end of On the Waterfront, a movie I've never seen, but, you know, everybody's aware. It ends with the, it could have been a contender. You know, potential doesn't mean squat if you can't actually make something happen with it, you know? When an Isaac run is young, potential's beautiful. The run could be anything. When an Isaac run is approaching the point at which, you know, rubber meets the road, you actually got to get results, otherwise, you know, who cares? It's like in an EA sports game, you know? You don't want to see a 38-year-old player who's 65 overall and has an A+ potential stat. Because, I'm sorry to tell you, brother, you're like a year away from retirement. The time for potential was, you know, in the draft combine. The time for results is now. Thank God for Gimpy on that one. Gimpy, by the way, has not paid out when I wanted it to. However, it has paid out enough. It's been like a nice little behind-the-scenes cumulative bonus of how things are going. Really respect and appreciate Gimpy's support over the course of this run. Thank you, Gimpy. It's a lot of money that we do not really need. Okay. It lives with one spirit heart. 72% chance of a deal with the devil. Thank you. I really needed this one. Sure, that's actually totally fine. I'm so happy we have the map, by the way. Really helps us plan our attack. And I think we're basically destined to be here. Now, you gotta be careful here. At least we have a useful spacebar item now. You gotta be careful here, but I think we definitely do wanna... Yeah, maybe give it that much. We got little Chad, we got... well, we just have little Chad. But that will help us get our HP back. We got a Spirit Heart for leverage out of it. Now that doesn't matter that much until we get our HP back, but... Oh, we have Gimpy, and Gimpy will give us more red hearts as well. Okay. Upon pressing spacebar in this room, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Where you at? Everything should be hunky-dory. I am still surprised that this is... It's ended up being a much longer run than I anticipated would be the case. But you know what? It's good. It's good to not have the run handed to you on a silver platter. I know this is like a we get it, you work out sort of moment, but like, working out is a great metaphor. Lifting weights, at least, is a great metaphor. I think for a lot of things in life, but definitely also, oh, we super want this. It'll work really well with Midas Touch. For improving any skill. Because here's the thing, right? Let's say you start working out, you can bench press 100 pounds, you know? And it's hard. You're like, I can barely lift this friggin' thing. But you think to yourself, if I can, you know, work as hard as I can right now, the next time I try to lift 100 pounds, it'll be easier. And then eventually it'll be easier, and it'll be easier, and it'll be easier, and it'll be nothing. But that's not how working out works. Once 100 pounds, you know, is no longer doing the job for you, you got to take it up to 105. Rinse and repeat. You get to 110. Rinse and repeat. You're at 150. Rinse and repeat. You know, you're at 1 times body weight. Rinse and repeat. You know, now you get the idea. At some point, you got to put your ambition in check, unless you want to, you know, tear your scapula forever. But I think it's kind of the same in Isaac, you know, and with a lot of things. We don't want it to be easy. We want it to be doable, but hard enough that we have to pay attention in order to do it, because that levels up our skills so we can be better at it next time. Ooh, an empty room? To what do I owe the pleasure? Of course, if I could get 100 easy runs in a row, that'd be a leisure-filled lifestyle, you know? But I'm all for the runs that are, you know, easy enough to definitely win, but they don't hand it to you. You got to do something. And I do want to point out, we were not handed this run. I put in the work with Golden Teleport. We didn't have to. There were some slightly fragile moments. And never forget, did we get Magic Mush? Yeah. But who put the bomb down to get Magic Mush? And how many people would have just walked out? Myself included most of the time. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the run. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.